Hello, today I will continue on React tutorial, and as on previous videos that I explained, create React directories and files and what each one of them will do. On today's video I'm going to teach you how to use useState. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to press subscribe and enable the bell to get all new videos and content. And also I will advise you to start from previous videos so you can understand what we'll do today. And I will leave the previous links or previous video links down of this video, or all the playlists for this tutorial I will leave it down of this video. So this is the same app that we worked on it last video. I will continue working the same video and same content. So let's just go directly and showing you how to use useState on React Hook. And let's here just first, before go further, let's move this, remove all this header. We are not going to use it, so we are going to allow this home component to take the full width of this screen here on the right. Just save it after remove that one, and we don't need this also anymore because we remove it. So now we updated our app component. Let's go to our here home.jsx component, and on the top let's import our useState from React. Let's call import, then destruction or open curly braces useState, and that will be from React. And now we imported our useState, so let's see how we can use it. Just inside this component home, let's call this a shortcut, call just useState, and then hit enter. So useState will define it by be a variable const, for example, then that will be with wrapped by array bracket or braces, and inside here you'll have two param. The first param will be or the first value of this variable will be your state, and the second one will be a function that to update your state. For example, this scenario, let's call it counter. If we imagine this is our counter, this is our state, and then we should have in this second param here or area the function that should update our counter or our state. So the convenient way that usually will call your state, then the function it will be set, then your state. Let's update it to be set counter. And also the convenient way for JavaScript to use this commit case, and the initial value will be a 0. This is how you can define your state, basically very simple. It'll be just a const, then an array bracket, and the first one will be your state, and the second one will be a function that to update your state. So let's down here on React also on return, it will allow us to mix HTML with the JavaScript. So let's show you how to do that one. Just after this line, let's open label HTML label element, and this will be for our counter. And inside here will be just the name of the label counter, and the value we need to open a curly bracket here. Then we can call our variable counter or our state. This scenario will call the state itself. So this counter, and there's a value as you see here in our right screen. Now we see counter, and the initial value is 0. So we need to create a function that call it like increase counter. Every time we press the button, increase the counter by 1. So let's create that function here, call it const increase counter, and inside here we are gonna just to call, as I mentioned earlier, to update our state we need to call this or set state or set counter in this scenario. So just call that function, and to increase this counter by 1 we need first to get the initial value and then increase it by 1. That's how we can increase this one. Then we need to call this function down to call it first, let's add a new button here, HTML button, and call it just increase counter. And here we need to add a handler called onClick. This has to be a camel case because of React. And here we can call this increase counter function, just pass it down here. And now that our button here, so since it's not nicely added, we need to add the CSS here for this one. Let's just add inline style here. It's called display block, just to make it take a new line. It's taking new line, just to make it also more nicer. Margin 0 auto, to bring it on this in the middle, and just to also to leave some gap from the counter value. Let's give it a margin top. And margin top just will be, for example, 15 pixels. This is not related to our video, just to make it more readable and to recognize the difference. So this is now here our new button that we can, when you press on this, we can increase our counter by 1. Let's just see that if that's working. Let's press this increase counter, and that is now increasing by 1. As see, this is how we can update our state. We can create initial state, and then we can use this method for this state to update our state to increase, or you can do whatever you'd like to do to your state, increase, decrease. If we need to add a decrease scenario here, let's just duplicate this button again, and just let's, instead of increase, this will be a decrease counter. And here let's just add more space, and here instead of call increase, we need to create a function called decrease counter, and this function is not exist yet. Let's by lowercase. Let's create just this function here after this function, or just duplicate this function. Rename this function to be called decrease counter, and instead of increase it by 1, just decrease it by 1. And if we save that one, and if you press it, decrease should be decreasing now. So from 2, 1, 0, or is going minus. If you need to stop it not to go to minus, for example, we need to, here can come to this decrease and add a condition, say if counter greater than 0. If counter greater than 0, then try to decrease your counter, otherwise it will do nothing. You can do that and save it, come back, increase by 1, and then decrease by 1. When it comes to 0, it will do nothing. And that's how to use useState, basically very simple and easy. And if you like this video, don't forget to press like, and also leave a comment if there's anything that you don't understand, or maybe need to explain it more. So just leave your comment, and that also will be helpful. And also don't forget, if you are new to my channel, to press subscribe button, and I will see you on soon in next video.